PSD-TV.
A big thank you to the leadership students at McLaughlin Middle School. Welcome to our latest episode of PSD-TV. It's our monthly online program that showcases the great things happening in the Pasco School District and celebrates the outstanding students, teachers, and staff members here at Pasco Schools. Well, they say that March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. And we've certainly seen a flurry of activity this month as many of you are gearing up for a well-deserved spring break. The month of March started with our fourth and final VIP day of the school year at Captain Gray STEM Elementary. More than a dozen very important patrons and very interested parents got up bright and early on March 2nd to spend the morning with students at Captain Gray as they showed off some of the great things happening at the school every day. Here's a look at some of the highlights.
So first off, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to show up and to spend a day with your students. I hope you guys see some phenomenal things this morning.
So when you push this, it goes through that, right? Okay.
And then if you don't have this, it won't be able to see. I know.
1, 2, 3. Got it.
Are you controlling that, or like how are you controlling that?
Oh, we program it by coding it.
It's already programmed. Then.
Yes.
Okay.
We program it on our computer, and then we plug it into a robot and download the program to the robot.
Okay.
And so that we just have our programs here.
Wow.
Start your day with a shout. Let the music come out. Start your day with a shout. Through the stormy weather, music helps you smile. Keep on singing through it. You're weathered in style. Start your day with a song. You know you can't go wrong. Start your day with a song. Start your with a song.
March 2nd also marked the birthday of Theodore Geisel, better known to you and I as Dr. Seuss. Students at McGee Elementary celebrated the good doctor's birthday by inviting several local celebrities to read with them in their classrooms as part of National Read Across America Day. Those celebrities included local firefighters and police officers, KVUE TV meteorologist Kristen Walls, and Miss Tri-Cities 2016 Taylor Plunkett. The students especially enjoyed getting a chance to meet Army Captain Scott Smiley and his wife Tiffany, who are both Pasco High graduates. They read excerpts from Captain Smiley's book, Hope Unseen.
Exiting the double doors, I walked about 20 feet, hit a black mat, and took a left. The sidewalk carried me 50 yards or so another map. A right turn and a quick left put me at the front door of the gym. Those 100 yards or so were my independence.
A big thank you to all of the celebrity readers who helped to make the event at McGee a huge success. Well, it's no secret that we have some great teachers here in the Pasco School District, and one of them was honored for her outstanding work on March 9th. Chess Elementary bilingual teacher and instructional coach Alicia Barber was one of 9 local teachers who were honored as 2017 Crystal Apple Award for Excellence in Education winners during a reception at the ESD 123 headquarters in Pasco. Barber was introduced by Pasco Schools Superintendent Michelle Whitney.
Alicia's strength is making connections with her students and communicating with parents. She is giving and truly cares about all of her students and the families and the staff. Her warm and friendly nature and attitude helps create a safe and fun learning environment for all.
Since the Crystal Apple Award program began in 1999, 219 outstanding local educators have been recognized. Well, Pasco students are also doing some great things in our community. In fact, a group of Pasco students were the keynote speakers at the Pasco Chamber of Commerce's membership luncheon earlier this month. It was focused on STEM education. Students from Chihuahua High School talked with the audience about why it's so important for them to be involved in STEM-based classes as they prepare to enter the workforce. After that, a group of 6th grade students from Curie STEM Elementary shared some examples of their recent work studying nanotechnology through the use of a scanning electron microscope. The students did a great job of explaining the work that was involved with their projects and also shared some personal stories about why a STEM-based education is so important to them. They received plenty of compliments from the local business owners and community leaders in the crowd. Meanwhile, a pair of Pasco High students got a chance to participate in the state's legislative process earlier this month. Seniors Veronica Sital and Keisha Talavera testified remotely in front of state lawmakers about a bill that's making its way through the state legislature. HB 1046 would de-link graduation requirements from statewide high school assessments. Right now, students need to pass statewide assessments in math, science, and English language arts in order to graduate. For students like Veronica and Keisha, the assessment requirement is an added challenge because English is not their first language. They didn't pass the state assessment, so in order to qualify for graduation, they had to pass what's known as collection of evidence classes instead.
I want to be a science teacher, but when they put me in COE classes, I lost the opportunity to be in other classes, for example, nanotech or biology, where I will be able to learn more about science.
They have to give me COE classes, and I have to pass them, and I pass them, but it's really stressful and it takes a lot of time to pass it. So, and that kept me away of taking high-level classes.
As a teacher, I see that kids are struggling having to take these assessments that are not proving that they are able to be college and career ready. And I think it's a loss of instructional time that we can be focusing on getting more knowledge in them. For these particular students, their second language is English, and so I'm very happy and impressed with them being able to fulfill their graduation requirements, but they have many classmates that have all their credits, are ready to graduate, but can't because they haven't been able to meet the state assessments.
A big thank you to their teacher, Veronica Machado, for helping the students prepare for their testimony. New Horizons teacher and instructional coach Becky Hitchman and Pasco High School principal Raul Sital also testified in front of the Senate Education Committee in support of that bill. A group of Chiawana High School students are making quite a name for themselves in the speech and debate arena. 17 students competed in the state speech tournament earlier this month in Tacoma. In fact, Ford Powers and Caleb Hernandez teamed up to finish 5th in the dual interpretation competition.
But I must cross this bridge. Then you shall die. I command you as King of the Britons to step aside. I move for no man. So be it, King. Now stand aside, worthy adversary. 'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't. What's that then? I've had worse. Come on, you pansy.
And for the second straight year, Bailey Easterday has qualified for the National Speech and Debate Tournament in Birmingham, Alabama, coming up in June. This year, she'll be joined by 3 of her teammates. Easterday has qualified in original oratory, while Isaiah Moore has qualified in programmed oral interpretation. Oliver Andreessen will be there to compete in Congress and House, and Caleb Hernandez will compete in informative speaking.
I'm so excited to get to have teammates there, and I think it's going to be a completely different experience to get to do all of that with teammates and to get to see what other people think of all of it, and because it's a really cool experience on your own, but a big part of it is I've never experienced a speech and debate tournament without a team before that, and I'm so used to the team dynamic that we have, where it's if you lose, somebody else is also really angry about it, and if you win, somebody else is also really excited.
Easterday and Malene Garcia have also been recognized as Academic All-Americans by the National Speech and Debate Association. They are the first Chiawana students to earn the award. Just 4 students in the state of Washington received that honor this year. We also need to congratulate Pasco High Principal Raul Sital. Mr. Sital was honored with the Administrator of the Year Award by the Washington State Dance and Drill Coaches Association at the State Dance and Drill Championships in the Yakima Sun Dome. By the way, the Pasco High dance team finished 4th in Palm and 4th in hip hop at this year's state competition. Chiawana's dance team finished 6th in hip hop. And speaking of Chihuahua, the school's mariachi group will be performing with some of the region's most renowned musicians. Mariachi Halcon del Rio will be performing with the Mid-Columbia Master Singers at a series of concerts this weekend, celebrating Latin American music. Now, the performances will be held March 31st, April 1st, and April 2nd at St. Joseph's Church in Kennewick.
They are presenting a concert called Latin American Celebration at St. Joseph's Church in Kennewick. Concert performances are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, March 31st through April 2nd over at St. Joseph's. Tickets can be purchased at the door. Again, all students are free. Adult tickets are $25 at the door, $22 in advance. Our mariachi is going to be the featured guest performers, and we will constitute over half of the program with the Master Singers, which is quite an honor to perform with that group.
That's just one of several big events coming up here in the Pasco School District that we want to make sure you know about. First, the 56th edition of the Pasco Invitational Track Meet is happening April 15th at Edgar Brown Stadium. The annual event is one of the largest track meets on the West Coast and draws dozens of teams and hundreds of competitors from all over the state and the Pacific Northwest. The Stevens Middle School Tiger Theater Company is proud to present their production of Willy Wonka Jr. with performances on April 21st and 22nd at the Pasco High Auditorium. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for students and seniors. Would you like to have lunch with the superintendent? Superintendent Michelle Whitney is hosting a series of lunchtime listening tour events this spring. The next one's happening on Friday, April 21st at 11:30 a.m. at the Booth Administration Building. That's on Lewis Street. Just stop by and have some lunch and share your thoughts and concerns with Superintendent Whitney. Or how about an afternoon of golf to help support our community? The 5th annual Virgie Robinson Scholarship Spring Classic Golf Tournament is happening on Saturday, April 22nd at Sun Willows. There'll be lots of great door prizes, so get your team together and register for the tournament online at vmrscholarships.org. And the Ochoa Middle School Music Department is proud to present Viva la Musica, an exploration of Latino musical influences across the ages. The performance is April 27th at 6:30 p.m. inside the Chihuahua High School Auditorium. Tickets are $5 for adults, students and seniors, and $3 for children 12 and under. Well, as part of this monthly program, we want to hear from you about what makes you proud of Pasco. We'll be taking our cameras out into the community to hear Proud of Pasco stories. And we recently caught up with Tim Sullivan. He's the district's Director of Student Life. Tim grew up in Pasco, attending Emerson and Captain Gray Elementaries and McGlaughlin and Stevens Middle School before graduating from Pasco High. We asked him what makes him proud of Pasco.
Pasco made me who I am today. My story still fits the kids of Pasco today, which is why I'm so honored to be back here after being away for so long, and which again I know from my Pasco perspective, it was a way for me to grow, add some more skills to my tool set, and to be Pasco wherever I'm at. Growing up, and I was one of the fortunate kids. I was on an athletic scholarship out of Pasco High School. I was a Pasco High athlete for 3 straight years, and loved every second of every experience I had in the educational system here. Even my struggles. I remember my first D. Stevens Junior High, Mrs. Hutchinson, remember it till this day because she called me Dennis Sullivan, my older brother, which she had in her class, who was a rock star. Little did I know she was trying to motivate me to work harder. But again, she proved her point because here it is almost 50 years later, I still remember the D. I've never had a D since, and my language arts, I work on it every day. Thanks to this. So I think educational system, when they understand the impact that you have on kids and you can remember things like that on how important it was. And for me, all Pasco. I spent a number of years in Los Angeles, I spent a number of years over in the Seattle area, and the basic, not just the basic education, but the basic responsibilities as a person, again, all for me, it reflects back to this little tiny place in Pasco.
If you have a great Proud of Pasco story that you want to share, shoot us an email at publicaffairs@psd1.org so that we can connect with you. Well, that wraps up this episode of PSD-TV. We thank you so much for joining us. We'll leave you with some of the sights and sounds from the Stevens 7th grade choir. They were performing at the annual Columbia Basin Music Educators Association Middle School Large Group Choir Festival, which was held at McGlaughlin Middle School earlier this month. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.